you think's the top running back in the NFL?
For me, this is easy. It's Derrick Henry of the Tennessee Titans. And I think you just got to understand what he means to that organization. We know week in and week out, he's going to be the bell cow back. He's going to be the guy they hand the football off to. When defensive coordinators go into a meeting room and you're playing the Tennessee Titans from an offensive perspective, Derrick Henry is the face that's up there in that room. We got to limit him. We got to stop him, but good luck trying. You look at over the last 4 years, last year alone, second in rushing, over 1,500 yards, 13 touchdowns. In 2021, Mad Dog, Derrick Henry missed 8 games and still was 9th in the National Football League with over 900 yards and 10 touchdowns. In 2020, we all know that he eclipsed the 2,000-yard mark along with 17 touchdowns. In 2019, he was first in the league as well with over 1,500 yards and 16 touchdowns. But you talk about a guy, when you talk about the best running back, name me a running back that you can count on, that you could point to, that can lead you throughout the playoffs by himself and take you to an AFC championship game or NFC championship game or a Super Bowl. Can you name one?
No, I can't. And I like Henry too, and he's a Hall of Famer. I'm not going to take him as my number one guy, but you are 1,000% correct. And Henry is great. He's not good. He is great. But I think from a versatility standpoint and how Shanahan uses him and his pass receiving ability, and he can hurt you in so many different ways, I think the best running back in football is McCaffrey. Now, listen, he's got injuries.
Yeah.
So you got to be, he's not necessarily going to play 16, 17 games for you. Henry had the bad foot 2 years ago. That's why he missed all those games. That would concern me a little bit with his injuries. But I love the way the guy plays. You can throw him out in the backfield. He'll catch 7 or 8 passes a game. And, he'll catch 7 passes for 90 yards. He's not going to catch 7 passes for 30 yards. He's going to catch 7 passes for 90 to 100 yards. And then you give him the ball 12, 13 times, he'll have another 90 yards again. His yards from scrimmage, when he's going good, is 180 yards.
Yeah.
And he's perfect for the Shanahan offense, where you don't got to give him the ball constantly. Sometimes Henry, you got to keep on feeding the beast. You got to hand him the ball, hand him the ball, hand him the ball. I think from a standpoint of McCaffrey, he's a better blend-in running back, where you can do other things with him to help and fortify your offense. So I think McCaffrey, for my purposes, is the best all-around back in football. Again, never healthy, but I'll take him.
First in scrimmage yards per game since 2017.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Who's number 2, though? All right, would you go Henry or would you go Chubb?
I would go, well, listen, right now Chubb's younger, so you got to keep that in mind. But Chubb also has a good understudy, at least he's had in the past, and Hunt. So I'm with Harry on that. I think Henry's he's a Hall of Famer. He is going to the Hall of Fame. Right now, doesn't have to play another down. He is a Hall of Fame back. But I'm with Harry on that. Listen, we're splitting hairs. You're not going to go lose anyway.
Both are phenomenal guys.
I'll take Henry too. I'm with you.
And I will tell you this. The work ethic of Derrick Henry, I think, is second to none. Literally, Mad Dog, when I mean I love training and I love working out, Derrick Henry is the only person, used to be my workout partner when I was with the Titans, the only person that ever got me to say, I'm done, I quit, I don't want to work out anymore. He's that type of dude. He's all business. It's no kiki, ha-ha. He's going to bring his hard hat. He's going to bring his lunch pail every single day. And when I talk about a guy that can lead a team to an AFC championship game, that's what he did in 2019. When you look at the numbers versus New England on the road when they still had Tom Brady, he rushed for 182 and a touchdown. He goes to Baltimore when they had the number 1 seed with Lamar Jackson, rushes for 195. So that's what I'm talking about, when a guy that you can give the ball to and basically say, carry us, bring us to the promised land. Derrick Henry is still that guy, and he's not slowing down. A lot of people think he's slowing down because the Titans didn't make the playoffs last year. He was second in the lead in rushing. But everyone knows he's getting the ball, and damn it, you still can't stop him.
And he's playing without the great quarterback in Tannehill. McCaffrey plays with the great system, where Shanahan is so ingenious, they can do all sorts of things, and they don't have to have a number 1 quarterback. They can have 9 million running backs, so that helps him. Henry, he is their offense, which makes it harder. But I still think he's wrong. I think McCaffrey's the better one.
He's going to have a big year because he gets an off season with that team, with that season. So I think he's going to have a phenomenal year.
Good point.
Obviously, we've been talking a lot about Saquon and the other backs and not landing with the team or having to play on the franchise tender, rather. What do you think about this whole sentiment of running backs being undervalued?
I think it's the main reason why is because you got to look at the landscape of the NFL right now, right? It's a passing league. When you look at the quarterbacks, you can't really hit them. You look at the wide receivers, you can't touch them past 5 yards. But then also when you look at the other value positions on offense, you're going to pay an offensive lineman to protect that franchise quarterback, especially if you have one. But then you're also going to pay your offensive weapons, your wide receivers, before you think about paying a running back. But here's why I do not like how a lot of people are devaluing the running back position. And I'm going to use the Buffalo Bills and Kansas City and the Cincinnati Bengals. One of the things I think the dark cloud over Buffalo is that they aren't committed to the run. And when you look at their last 3 playoff losses, that tells you that as well. Kansas City, push come to shove, when it's time for them to run the football, they lean on that running back. This past year, they leaned on Pacheco. The Cincinnati Bengals, when they need to run the football, they are accustomed to doing that. So when it comes playoff time, you need those running backs. You need those running backs, and you have to run the football if you want to be successful and try to win a Super Bowl.
I promise I'm not a Jets homer. In fact, I'm sure the Jets would be surprised by my answer here after covering them for so many years. But I think he is going to thrive. Now, mind you, my Jets experience covers Tim Tebow, Mark Sanchez, Geno Smith, helicopters, planes flying over practices, all sorts of circus nonsense. That's why I understand how different this organization is now, how different this team is, what the vibe is. This is day one. Guys are reporting, but you can already get a sense that guys are excited. And here's the thing. Rodgers has not experienced anything like New York. I promise you that. But he comes in here. He's looking to prove a lot of people wrong, especially a lot of people in Green Bay. He's not going to say it publicly, but that's what we know about Aaron Rodgers. And based on my conversations with people here, he is looking to quiet everybody. He is somebody who reads everything, pays attention to things, and he knows what probably Mad Dog Russo thinks. He probably knows that Mad Dog is going to say, you know what? I think this guy's going to struggle. And I think that's the type of stuff that motivates him. Just because he understands, he saw Tom Brady do it. He saw Matt Stafford do it. Aaron Rodgers understands he's a Hall of Fame quarterback, and he would not have said, you know what, instead of retiring, I'm going to come to Florham Park, New Jersey, and come to the Jets, unless he believed that with this defense and this offense and Nathaniel Hackett here and Robert Saleh, that they could actually make some noise.
Well, remember, last year Rodgers did not play well, and they lost to Detroit in the last game of the year, and Rodgers wasn't great. And he's also 38, 39 years of age. Throw in the Russell Wilson experience in Denver. That didn't work. We all thought Wilson would be great for the Broncos. I didn't like that trend. Listen, Rodgers is going to be good. The Jets are going to be good. But if you really want to look at it from what he wants to do, then his report card, which I don't think it is, but if he wants to treat it that way, I will, then his report card is he's got to win the whole thing. And so if Rodgers goes out there in Kansas City on January 16th, and the Jets had a good regular season, and he goes out there in Kansas City on January 16th and lays an egg, and the Jets lose, does that mean the Jets season is a failure? Well, if Rodgers is going to tell me that I got a lot to prove, I want to go prove the folks in Green Bay wrong, I want to win my second championship, I want to be the next Joe Namath in New York City, well, then he's going to have to win those games. He's going to have to beat Burrow in a big spot. He's going to have to beat Josh Allen in a couple of big spots. He's going to have to beat Mahomes. He's going to have a tough schedule. That's asking an awful lot. 11-6 is one thing. 11-6 divisional round of the playoffs is one thing. 11-6, and then Cincinnati, the Chiefs, and then the Eagles to win it all, that's a much higher plateau. I'm not sure if he's going to do it.
Well, I think we're talking about a guy in Aaron Rodgers who's accustomed to the spotlight. I think he actually thrives off stuff like this. That's why I think it's a perfect situation for him. And you talked about the season last year in 2022. Do I honestly believe Aaron Rodgers fell off a cliff? Hell to the no, doggy. Because, see, if it's one person I wish I had an opportunity to play with in the National Football League, and I love every quarterback that I had, it was Aaron Rodgers. It was that guy because he's a natural thrower of the football. You talk about extending plays and can throw the football from every arm angle, right? When it comes to just being that guy to deliver the football to a wide receiver, I love Aaron Rodgers in every aspect of the game. Also, he's in a new city, a new scenery. He's not in Green Bay. That's why you see him out at all these different places enjoying himself when he probably would be cooped up because he's in Green Bay. He's in Green Bay, Wisconsin. So I like Aaron Rodgers in the spot that he's in right now. I will also say this. He has an opportunity to do something that Brett Favre didn't do when he came to the Jets, right? That's a chance to win a Super Bowl. Win a Super Bowl, but this team hasn't been to the playoffs since 2010. Like I mentioned earlier, 1968, that season, 69 is when they won a Super Bowl with Broadway Joe. Aaron Rodgers would be treated like a god if he has an opportunity and can win a Super Bowl here in New York. I don't think the media, I don't think the spotlight will be too big for him. I honestly believe he thrives off of it, and I think he's going to thrive this season.
Again, Green Bay, the Post-Gazette, not a big deal. New York, he has a bad game against a big team at the end.
He's got your show.
He's got shows all over the place. He's got tabloids. He likes to think he's the smartest guy in a room. It's one thing to play the smartest guy in a room when you're 20 out of 25 for 280 yards and 4 touchdowns. When you play badly, you can't be the smartest guy in a room.
You think that gets to him, the public criticism?
Well, we don't know yet because he's been in a small town. This is a big town. Go ahead, Kim.
Doggy. I thought today would be different.
No.
I thought you might come into the studio, a ray of sunshine, bringing some positivity. But clearly, I'm mistaken. Listen, as somebody who actually covered the beat the last time they made it to the playoffs, I can speak to the difference in these players. It's not just about Aaron Rodgers. I just spoke to Quinnen Williams, their best defensive stud, a few minutes ago. And we talked about how Aaron Rodgers' presence not only affects the offense, but affects this defense, a top 5 defense that this year is coming in looking to be number 1 in the NFL. Having a Hall of Famer, just the fact that we have stands here, the fact that this is a different environment. These players understand it's almost like the Tom Brady effect. That's what they want here. They want a Hall of Famer to come in here. He's elevated the expectations. Guys know what's at stake. This is not, Rodgers can say whatever he wants, that, oh, I'm not here to be the savior. Yes, he is. That's why the capital was given up all that money. He needs to be the savior. They have a 2-year window with him. The goal is to win a Super Bowl. Every team says that, but when you bring in Aaron Rodgers, that's the goal. And Doggy, when people were counting Rodgers out, when his own organization, the Green Bay Packers, said, you know what, we're going to move up, not tell you, we're going to move up, take this quarterback in the first round, and he's going to be our future, what did Aaron Rodgers do? He won back-to-back MVPs. I'm not saying he's going to be 40 years old. I get that. I'm sure you know at 40 you weren't feeling your best either, but he understands the pressure. It's different than Green Bay, but he understands it and he thrives in it. So I'm excited to see what the Jets will do.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.